So we've got Gwen here today. You've seen Gwen practicing fantastic lunges. That's so 5 years before Gwen first visited us. Unfortunately, her hip, was it hip fracture, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And had to be pinned. Now that led to a lot of scar tissue restriction and atrophy, so muscle weakness. Now Gwen's been fantastic. She's been able to do full lunges, articulating her knee, working on the range of motion and strength of her hip and her knee. But now what we're going to be focusing on is some general articulation, which provides her with a nice amount of pain relief. So to do this, I'm going to block Gwen's hips with my hips, and then I'm going to pick up the hip here. Now this now enables me to focus on extension of the hip purely. So from here, if I then start to turn to my left, I can then really start to open up Gwen's hip. But then as well as that, sorry Lizzie, if you want to stand up a second, I'm just going to show you something else. So from here, if I then start to apply pressure with my elbow here, I can then start to use a little bit of muscular inhibition at the same time. So especially into muscles like rectus femoris, to start to reduce the amount of discomfort coming from the front of Gwen's hip. If I wanted more pure hip, then I keep the knees straight, because then it takes rectus femoris off tension, and then it also gives me the option to start to articulate into a little bit of external rotation as well. How does that feel there, Gwen?
Yeah, no, that's okay. The middle one was a bit strong.
So when I was here,
you put it out straight
into here, yeah. So that's because I'm able to take Gwen's hip a little bit further. So I can actually, in this position, use rectus femoris as a bit of a breaker. So I'm not going to go as far, and then we can focus on pure hip extension with a different technique. But Gwen normally feels quite good after this. So it's one of the treatment techniques that we've been using, one of the manual therapy techniques that we've been using, just to provide as much relief as possible. So we've got hip flexor, hip, and then also as well as that we've got more hip articulation into abduction and external rotation. And that's it.